Right at the top of the hour. So we're all on board, and I want to say hello and welcome to our fourth Leadership Forum of the board year. I'm Diane Chase, the International Chair of IABC, along with our great stellar team of Sharon Hunter, our Vice Chair, and Stephanie Dute, our Acting Executive Director, and our special guest this month is the Chair of the 2017 IABC World Conference, Sarah McLaughlin. She's joining us from New Orleans, where we last gathered for the 2016 World Conference. So the very site of an outstanding conference for 2016. I know 2017 is going to shape up to be absolutely stellar. So we're going to check in with Sarah in just a minute. But again, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking time to have this online conversation. It's really critical that we all stay in touch, and hopefully you find these monthly forums a good way to do that. Thank you for your leadership, your support, your dedication to our IABC. Together, again, we can work and make it a great year for IABC. So as we go through, please take a minute to submit any questions you may have. We'll address them throughout the 30 minutes we are together. Also, don't forget about tweeting out. The hashtags are IABC Leaders and IABC IEB, which stands for the International Executive Board. So IABC Leaders and IABC IEB. So we'll have a lot of things to cover today. It is truly a very busy and exciting time for IABC. We're in the midst of a membership month. We're actually ending the final days of membership month, which runs through October. This month has been really, really amazing, thanks to Stephanie's leadership in putting together a great package of perks for October for any renewing and new members to join. So we appreciate you helping us continuing to get the word out before the end of the month to make sure that we make it a successful member month. We have, Sharon and I have just returned from 2 region conferences and leadership institutes, which also involved the 2017-2020 strategic planning sessions, all super successful. We were in Columbus, Ohio for the Heritage Region and in Atlanta for the Southern Region conferences. I can't tell you how impressed I was, and we all were, with the dedication, the nonstop work, all the time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears that went into these conferences and leaders summits, which made them truly exceptional, I think, this year. I think Sharon would agree as well. So thank you, more than we can say, for having us there and for all you do that made these really, truly successful events. Another exciting initiative underway right now, the open call for IABC Fellows is underway. Now, it launched a bit earlier this year, and it will wrap up. Keep in mind the deadline is Friday, December the 3rd at 5 p.m. Eastern. As you know, this is the highest accolade IABC awards, and it is for contributions to our profession, to our association. So if you know of someone who truly is an IABC icon, please do nominate them for the Fellows Award. We also are in the midst of Gold Quill time. We're already getting entries in, and remember, the earlier you submit, the more you save. The early bird deadline is November 16th, so do keep that in mind. And take an opportunity to submit your outstanding work. We want to recognize you and give you all sorts of accolades at the gala at World Conference in Washington, D.C. It's going to be a stellar event. And speaking of World Conference, I don't want to delay any longer before we get to Sarah McLaughlin to tell us all the latest and greatest with all the scoop about the World Conference in 2016 or 2017.
2017, I know. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you to Diane and Stephanie and Sharon for inviting me to be part of the Leadership Forum here today. It's such a privilege in general to be part of the World Conference planning process, and I'm really excited to be here today to offer you some insight into the Program Advisory Committee and some of the very exciting and new things that we've got coming up for the 2017 conference. So as Diane mentioned, World Conference is going to take place from June 11th through 14th. It's going to be in our host nation's capital, which is Washington, D.C. And the theme of our conference this year is hashtag IABC 17, Global Business, Lead Communication, Make Real Impact. And our PAC leadership team spent a lot of time developing this theme. We put a lot of thought into each word that was included and the placement of each word, because we really wanted to ensure that the theme speaks not only to the conference, but also to the association. World Conference, as you all know, is the #1 brand builder for the association, so it's critical that the two are reflective of one another. And the World Conference, I think, like the association, is really our opportunity to connect people, opportunities, and ideas through our global network. So we are very excited about our theme and everything that we've got coming up. So in terms of our leadership team, in addition to me, it also includes Stacy Wilson, ABC, who is the immediate past chair, and she chaired the conference, the great conference that was here in my hometown of New Orleans. Neil Griffiths, ABC, who is the vice chair, and he's going to be the chair for the 2018 conference in Montreal. And Natasha Nicholson, who is IABC Staff's Director of Content. In addition to that, we have an honorary co-chair. Her name is Rebecca Callahan, and she is actually based in Washington, D.C. So she really has her finger on the pulse of what's happening in the greater Washington, D.C. and Baltimore area. So we're really counting on Rebecca and some of her team to help us with developing a local promotional plan, because we really see that as an opportunity to build on the number of local participants that we get. So the rest of the program advisory committee is made up of IABC members from each of the regions. We've got 11 that are from the US, 6 that are from Canada, and another 11 that are from outside of North America, which is fantastic. And we have a mix of entry, mid, and senior level people who work in various sectors, including government. We have independent consultants, we have nonprofits, people who work for educational institutions and corporations. So again, we really have a great balance in terms of location and experience level and type of employer. So I think we have a really fantastic team that's working hard to pull this all together and really put on a great conference for everybody. So I want to tell you a little bit about the evaluation of our 2016 conference and how that specifically has informed some of the decisions that we've made and changes that you're going to see. So as we were putting the report together, and based on a lot of the comments and feedback that came in from attendees, we developed a list of recommendations for future conferences that broke things down into things that were easier to implement, or easier to accomplish rather, and cost less to implement, versus things that were harder and more expensive to implement that might take a few more years to do. So I'm not going to go through the entire list because it is exhaustive and it's extensive, but I want to highlight a few of the things because, again, it's the information in this report that's really driving some of the changes that we'll talk about. So let me begin by telling you. So one of the first recommendations that came out that was sort of in our easy cost, lower implementation category was to improve the speaker submission and selection process. So our leadership team worked for several months really to figure out how we were going to improve the speaker submission process. And our goal in general has been to create a more supportive experience for prospective speakers, because we believe that would help them to put together really strong submissions. Her goal has also been to find efficiencies for evaluators. So to that end, we put together a more comprehensive set of guidelines to help evaluators uniformly evaluate an entry successfully. And then we also added a requirement this year for speakers to submit a 60-second pitch video so that evaluators could really get a sense of the speaker's style. We think that's a really great addition. Another recommendation was to improve the speaker preparation resources and guidance that we offered to them. So in order to accomplish that, we revamped the submissions toolkit. We created a very detailed set of guidelines aimed to help prospective speakers to do just what I said, to put together a really strong and stellar submission. We also gave prospective speakers an opportunity to preview some of the best. So we have 3 of our best of show session proposals that were available for prospective speakers to look at. So right up front, again, they had a chance to see what the best of the best looks like. So we think that's a great resource in addition. Another recommendation that we had was to globalize the event and to extend it beyond the in-person conference experience. And this is something that we're in the process of working on now, because we really wanted to figure out a way, to extend the value and the experience of World Conference beyond its on-site attendees. So right now we're in the process of shaping a partnership with an industry leader to create a top virtual conference experience for our audience. And we're very excited. We're going to be able to offer content online from 2 rooms during the conference. So this is, I think, a big change that's going to be really, really positive for us. So we're very excited about that. Another one of the recommendations was to evaluate the overall conference agenda and session formats to drive increased interaction between participants. And so there are a number of changes that you're going to see this year agenda-wise. And I'm excited today to give a sneak peek to you leaders about what those are. So I would say in general, the agenda creates a better alignment with the IABC brand. And so to that end, we actually have a theme each day for the conference that's connected to the IABC brand and relates directly to the activities and content that will be happening that day. So our theme for Sunday is going to be Connect. Our theme for Monday is going to be Discover. Our theme for Tuesday is Inspire, and our theme for Wednesday is Achieve. So that, I think, is a really exciting addition that we're introducing this year. Another very exciting change, we are moving our Dine Around to Monday night. And this decision, as I mentioned, was driven by a lot of the feedback that we received from the conference. People are so excited, get so excited every year about Dine Around, and it's just a great opportunity to meet and really get to know people. So it just makes more sense to have it earlier on the schedule and earlier in the conference so that you can continue to build on those relationships, throughout the rest of the conference. So just also want to highlight regional receptions will be on Monday night. They're going to be from 6 to 7, and then Dine Around will immediately follow. So that is a change that we are all very excited about. Another change we are excited about, we are adding as one of our general sessions, a World Cafe. And this is still kind of in its infancy in terms of our planning, but it will be on the Monday schedule. It's going to be, as I said, one of the general sessions, so everybody will be included. And it's going to be just another opportunity for idea sharing. So it's another chance to network, another chance, more exposure just to meet other conference attendees. So we think this is going to be a great addition. And also on Tuesday, we are adding a speed networking event. This is an optional event. It's going to take place during lunchtime in the hub. So we think it's a great location. It's another great opportunity for interaction and engagement amongst our attendees. And again, that was definitely one of the themes that we saw carried through the evaluations, that people just wanted more opportunity to engage with other conference attendees. So we feel like these events are certainly going to let us do that. And then the final recommendation I want to mention, bring in dynamic keynotes, which of course we know is, absolutely the name of the game in terms of having a successful conference. So we've spent a lot of time so that we can be strategic, not only about the kinds of keynotes that we bring, but also the placement of those keynotes on the agenda so that it aligns with the themes. We've got one keynote secured and contracted, and we're in the process of identifying other speakers that we want to pursue. So our official launch of the registration and the website for our conference is actually next Wednesday, November 2nd, which we are very excited about. And that is when we're going to announce our first keynote speaker. However, since today is a special day with all of you leaders, I'm very excited to share that news with you a little bit early. So our first keynote that we're announcing is John Iwata, and John is Senior Vice President for Marketing and Communications for IBM, which is very exciting. And John leads IBM's Marketing, Communications, and Citizenship organization. And he and his team are responsible for marketing of IBM's projects and portfolio in more than 170 countries, which is very exciting. He's got many, many, many awards and distinctions, as you can imagine, but he is also connected to the IABC community already, and he was named Communicator of the Year by the New York chapter in 2007. So we are super excited. He is going to be, I think, a great addition to our slate of keynote speakers, and I'm very excited to share that news with you today. So obviously, as you can tell, we have so much going on. We have so much that's exciting. I could not be more excited to be leading this team and just be part of this experience. Again, we're going to be launching officially registration on Wednesday. So I am happy to answer any questions, but just in general, I am looking forward to seeing all of you in Washington, D.C. next year.
Absolutely. That is all outstanding, Sarah. Thank you so much for that update and the sneak announcement, the here first for our leaders about our keynote. So super congratulations and huge appreciation to you and the team, the leadership team, and the full pack that you're leading. So Washington, D.C. 2017 is going to be one for the record books for our World Conference, I think. Okay.
I think so too.
And again, if you have any questions as we go through, time is flying by, so we only have, we need to get quickly to the rest of our updates, but please do submit any questions, comments that you have, and we will address them as they come up. So let's quickly run over to Vice Chair Sharon Hunter, who has lots of updates, especially on the 2017-2020 strategic planning, among other topics.
Oh, thanks very much, Diane. It's interesting, Sarah, you mentioned adding a World Cafe to the World Conference agenda, which is really amazing, because that's, of course, the format that we are using for the new strategy work that we've started this fall. And as Diane mentioned earlier, we just went through the Heritage and Southern Region conferences, which were absolutely amazing, and carried on our Appreciative Inquiry session in that format. And I have to say, it's so exciting to participate. It's really very much based on tapping into the wisdom of the tribe, or the wisdom of the crowd, so to speak. Everyone told their own personal stories and experiences about what they valued most about IABC. Some of them were hilarious, some of them were heartbreaking, some of them were just plain funny. What bubbles up over and over again that I find really great is the number one thing truly is this sense of our global peer community that's so helpful to each other. Really very much that sentiment that IABC is like a family, and we're all here to support each other, which was really, really great. One of the things that came out of this session, we had an opportunity for people to run up and write down on a flip chart the best quotes they heard while the stories were being told around the tables. And two of them I have here today that are my favorites are, you come for the professional development, you stay for the people. I thought that was really cool. And judging IABC awards is like looking into the soul of the communicator. I thought that was, everyone went, ooh, when they read that one. So anyhow, we still have more sessions to go. We still have to carry out sessions. Diane will be leading with Daniel Munslow in South Africa in another week's time. We're still setting up opportunities in Asia Pacific region and also in Canada. And once we conclude that, we will be culminating with a big session at Leadership Institute in February, this Dallas. If you haven't marked your calendars already, that's the 23rd to 25th in Dallas, Texas, where we'll be integrating all of this global conversation feedback that we're collecting right now. Moving on to updates from the Council of Region. There's a couple of things to note in terms of timelines for Leadership Institute. First of all, registration will be opening on November 16th, so it's coming up soon. But already open are the Chapter Management Awards, and this is a really key opportunity to have your work recognized. This, in fact, was one of the key things that bubbled up from our strategy sessions as well, of what people value most is the recognition that they get from their peers for their hard work. And also they tie that to validation as a professional, so that when your peers tell you you've done a great job, it really feels good. And this is one of those key opportunities to do so. The CMAs will be closing on December 5th, so chapters, please get those in. Another update to share about the Leader Center is that the new Basecamp groups to share best practice will be opening very shortly, and leaders will be receiving invitations to participate in those in the next days. These will be for chapter presidents, VPs of membership, and VP programs or professional development, whatever that might be called in your local context. And another reminder is about the affiliation agreements. A little plug there that we're trying to get in the new agreements before the end of this year, 2016. And we have a little ways to go, so please do reach out to your regional leaders if you have questions about that, or your chapter relations manager here at International Headquarters. Stephanie may have some extra comments on that when it's her turn, but I said I'd give a plug. So that's it for my update at the moment. Unless you have any other questions or I've forgotten something, Diane, please let me know.
No, actually, we're going to double down on the affiliation agreements too, because I promised to give a reminder about that. So very important, and a great best practice that is moving us forward at the international and the local level. So appreciate your getting those in by the end of the year. And I'm going to run over to Stephanie here to make sure that we have time for all of her important updates. She has some really vital updates for us. So Stephanie, take it away.
All right, thank you. Well, since we've covered the affiliation agreement quite well, I'll skip that one. There's so many things happening that I'm really excited to tell you about, so I'll start with the one that I'm less excited to tell you about. We sent out an email earlier this week letting everyone know that Award Century is closing down their business. So all chapter and regional programs that are using Award Century will need to be completed by May of 2017. They will continue to see through the gold quills through World Conference, so we should have no interruption in that process. This means that we do need to find a new solution. And so IABC staff, in conjunction with some region and chapter leaders who have stepped up really quickly with ideas, have started exploring alternative options. So I want to let you know that's we're doing the background work, and we should have some more information for you on this in the coming month. So be on the lookout for that, as we are actively working on a solution. So that's the less exciting piece. The more exciting piece is that there are so many things happening that we haven't already talked about today. New members only content on the website. Today we launched a new ebook free to IABC members, Managing the Communication Function, 3rd edition by Diane Gajewski. You may have received an email about that already. This is the second ebook we've been able to publish in the past couple of months that is for members for free. We're really excited about the way we're able to focus on adding some value, and this is a great piece of that. Another piece of that is the next free to members webinar coming up on October 31st, How to Increase Employee Engagement, First Step, Ask Employees. So make sure to attend that on October 31st. We're excited to see you there. And on the heels of those two member value pieces, I want to again remind you about Member Month. We only have a few days left. It's 10% discount to join or renew this month. And if you refer a member, you'll get a $10 gift card. So it's a great time. It's a great time to really see this through, and we're really excited about what's happening. One last piece that I'll mention is the Academy. We've just launched our new self-paced course, Strategic Communication Planning. Miriam McCauley is the instructor there. We're really excited about the new self-paced model as it's launching, because it's going to allow for interactive education for our members and the community across the world, in your own time zone, at your own pace, when it works for you. So we're really excited about this model and what it brings to everyone. And one more plug for Member Month. Go get new members. Let's bring everybody in, and thank you.
Fantastic. So the Member Month again is another super highlight. The clock is ticking down, and we're appreciating all the comments here and all the super support for everything going on. Thank you, guys. We have representatives from the Heritage Region who, again, put on an amazing conference. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Southern Region folks who are also joining us today. Kudos again for an amazing conference and appreciative inquiry session. So any questions, continue to send them in. We have 6 more minutes. And with those 6 more minutes, I'd like to run back to Sarah for any closing remarks, reminders about World Conference.
Yes, so reminder that we are officially launching We'll be launching the website and registration next Wednesday, November 2nd. So please do look out for that and share that within your networks. And just in general, please touch base with me, reach out to me if you have any questions or want any more information about World Conference. We're very excited. June 11th through 14th in Washington, D.C.
Excellent. We will be there. Sharon, some reminders. I know there's some dates that we want to keep in mind in terms of LI registration opening.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's opening November 16th, so that's coming up very fast. One thing I just wanted to continue to remind people about is you can apply for certification anytime. There are different times of year when exam sites are scheduled, but you can send in your application if you want to be considered for the certification program. I think we have a link coming up here. Yes, we do. So don't hesitate to inform yourself on how the certification works. And in terms of dates, I think I gave those already. November 16th for LI registration. The CMAs are closing December 5th. And do mark your calendars to join us in February in Dallas, Texas for the Leadership Institute. Lots of great stuff coming down the pipe.
Absolutely. Stephanie, final memos?
No memos. I think that for my final thing, I want to share a moment of gratitude. As I reflect upon IABC and the work that we all do, it strikes me just how amazing our community is and how amazing all of you are as leaders, the time, the dedication, the energy, and the work that you put into IABC and you put into helping the community and each other. And I'm just tremendously grateful to be a part of that. So thank you for all that you do.
Well said. I think we get dittos from all of us here, and we can't thank you all enough. It takes all of us working together collaboratively and aligned to move forward, and we're just seeing so much of that going on. I can't even express, like Stephanie said, that it's just overwhelming sometimes to see what our leaders and our volunteers are doing on a daily basis to improve IABC. So thank you more than I can say. And please do know that we're always available. Anytime, make sure to check out the Chairs blog after this. Excuse all the noise in the background. The Chairs blog will have a recording of the leader forum as per usual, and we'll include all the links that we were sharing in the chat today as well, just to keep those as a resource for you. And also wanted to let you know that we are moving the forum, the regular fourth week forum, to November 16th due to the U.S. holiday of Thanksgiving. So November 16th, and it's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we're moving the times around to try and be available to as many regions as possible. Again, thank you very much for attending today. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you. All of the usual channels, and please do help us spread the word about Membership Month, Gold Quill, Leadership Institute, and all of the wonderful things coming up. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next month.